We are now looking at exercise 2 on page 81, where we will consider certain premium calculation principles and look at which of them satisfy which theoretical requirements. So just to begin with, let's take a look at the different premium calculation principles. I will just explain to you guys what's the motivation behind each of them. If that doesn't interest you, then just skip to the next video where we will just be doing the solutions. Okay, so the first premium principle that we will look at is called the net value principle. Now this is the most simple premium calculation principle you can ever think of. It's just what we call the fair price. You consider your total claim size, S at time t, and then you say, well, the premium that we will charge for that, for covering such claims, is just the expected value of that total claim size. So this is the most simple way you can do it. Now, theoretically, we're able to show that this will not lead to a good end for any insurance company. In fact, it will lead to ruin in many cases. And the reason why that is so, just intuitively, is you might consider, what happens if the total claim sizes do not hit close to the mean value of the claim sizes and instead exceed that mean value and does so many times, then things will go wrong. So one more premium calculation principle we have is the expected value principle. And this principle says, just to be on the safe side, let us scale up the premium by scaling up the expected value of the claim sizes with a safety loading that we call rho. And this rho is naturally enough positive. And we call this principle the expected value principle, because we take the expected value of claim sizes and of the total claim size and we scale it up a little bit. Another way that we can do the safety loading is to say, well, we do know that the claim sizes have an expectation. However, we also know that the claim size, the total claim size, can vary. Yes, sometimes we have an outcome where the total claim size will exceed the mean value, and in other cases, in other versions of reality or whatever, it will not be as high as the expected value. So there's a variance involved, and we would like to use that variance to provide a kind of safety loading in the pricing of the insurance product. So this is what we call the variance principle for premium calculation, where we load the premium, the net premium, with a constant multiplied by the variance of the claim sizes. So the greater the variance of the total claim size, the less sure we are of our estimate, and the more we will load in this case. Now, it turns out that loading with the variance can be a bit of an overkill, especially since the variance operates on a different scale level than the mean value. So to compensate for that, we can also choose to load with the standard deviation, which is the square root of the variance. And it turns out that loading with the standard deviation also has another motivation, which is quite nice. Mainly based on the central limit theorem. We will not talk about that now, but it will be something that we will look at in next week's exercise. So these were the 4 premium calculation principles, and in the next video we will be looking to show which theoretical requirements each of them satisfy or doesn't satisfy.